Good day, everyone. Huge announcement today. Bank of Canada interest rate cut of 0.25%. So if you have not heard yet, I want to get some stats. If you have not heard yet, the Bank of Canada has cut overnight lending rates by 0.25, right? Another quarter basis points we have just cut by. But when I say we, I mean Bank of Canada. I guess it's not really we, but which is super exciting. Okay. So in the last year, right, in the last 12 months or so, they have now cut for a total of 0.75, right? 3/4 of an entire basis point, which is awesome. So I want to come live here, do some Q&A live on all social media platforms. So if you do have a question about it, let us know. Very exciting times. I'm super pumped. Some of our variable mortgages, right, the interest rate is going to go down. Hopefully within 24 hours. I've already emailed the bank and the mortgage brokers and all that. So, which I'm sure they're not surprised about. But what was I going to say? Yeah, exciting time. So definitely here. Let me open up the chat. If you have any questions, do not be shy. Definitely put them in the chat. Same with you, TikTok. I'm live on TikTok down here if you're wondering why I'm looking down. Same with you guys, TikTok. If you have any questions, do not be shy. And if I miss them, our team is gonna put them in our chat here. Yeah, so I've been talking to mortgage brokers. I've been talking to economists for the last couple of weeks here, and we were all on the same page of it's most likely going to have a cut, right? There's most likely going to be a cut. What are we? September 4th. And then we were also debating, excuse me, we were also debating if it was going to be 0.25 or 0.5, right? Were they going to cut actually a little bit more? Or if they were going to cut just a little, okay? And that's in the Canadian side, right? BOC, Bank of Canada, has made a cut. The US, they did not. That's coming up hopefully on the 18th. Hopefully they'll do a cut as well. The Fed, the Reserve. Yeah, so I was kind of hoping they would cut by 0.5, being optimistic there. But you know what? They cut by 0.25. I'll still take it. Definitely better than staying the same or going up, which we didn't think they'd go up. There was a slight chance that they'd stay, but yeah, myself and the mortgage brokers and the economists that I've been speaking with, we were 99.9% gung-ho for an interest rate cut, which the Bank of Canada did do for you. For those of you just tuning in, again, a couple hours ago, well, 2 hours ago, pretty much on the dot, the Bank of Canada has now cut overnight lending rates to 4.25, right, from where it was at 4.5. So they cut by 0.25, which is very, very exciting as a real estate investor, or even if you're buying a house, right? If you're like, Dave, I just want to get into my first single family home. Rate cuts are good, right? This is going to help you qualify for more expensive houses if that's what you want, okay? And who doesn't want to pay less interest, right? That's kind of like a human not need, not necessity, but it's like a humanity thing where why would you want to pay more interest if you don't have to? So super cool. What was I going to say? So what we're looking at right now, let's stick on Canada. We'll talk a little bit US as well, because I know we have some US. The Fed didn't announce today, but so if you're looking at Canada, the overnight lending rate is 4.25. Prime is going to be going from 6.7. Again, I'm talking Canada right now. It's going to be going from 6.7 to 6.45. Okay, so just basically 6.5. Mortgage rates are below 5%, right, for Canadian mortgages. Again, depending which institution, depending what term. I'm just talking in general. And the next Bank of Canada announcements that are coming up, Jeffrey's given us arms in the air. I like it, Jeffrey. The next Bank of Canada announcement dates are, mark your calendars. I have it in my calendar. I'm usually looking at this weeks in advance, right? So that I can let our Action Family mentoring program know and keep people in the loop. But yeah, the next announcement dates for Canada are October 23rd. Okay, so another one around, I don't even know when Thanksgiving is in Canada this year. I'd have to look it up. So kind of around that time. And then December 11th. So there's still 2 more rate cuts in Canada. Sorry. I'm hoping there's rate cuts. There's 2 more announcements. That's me being super optimistic. So hopefully during the 2 more announcements that there will be rate cuts. Yeah, so someone is saying here, so that's the Canadian numbers. I'll dive into the US in a little bit. Meech, where do you invest most of your real estate? So in Canada, we're investing mostly in 2 provinces. Excuse me. In the US, we invest in 3 particular states: Texas, Ohio, and Florida. Then we invest as well in Costa Rica on the West Coast, like Potrero, Cocoa Beach. We just bought a 10-unit resort in Juancalal. I'm missing one. Cocoa Beach. I'm missing one. Acatal. There you go. There's the other one. Yeah, so on the West Coast in Costa Rica, in Mexico, Tulum, and in Dominican Republic, it is Punta Cana. So that's where Mel and I have our portfolio as of today. As of right now, we're always looking at different places and growing it. As long as the returns are good and we've got the proper business structure. And then 25 AG Mortgage Group, 25 basis points only. They don't want a major fall run up. Yes, I agree. So were you, okay, so AG Mortgage, were you thinking they'd go 0.5? Were you thinking they would do 50 basis points? Or were you like, no, they're only going to go 25? Like 5 minutes before the announcement, I was messaging a mortgage broker. We're close friends. And I was like, okay, what's the final bid here? Or what's the final guess? Are we going 0.25 or are we going 0.5? And I was being super optimistic. He was saying, no, they're probably just going to do 0.25. And then he was right. But yeah, any questions on that, guys? How it's going to affect the market? In my opinion, what I believe is when we typically see, and let me backtrack. I know I said last time we went live was about the interest rate cuts was, well, last time that they cut. And I remember saying the first time that they made a cut was historically, once they begin cuts, they continue to cut, right? And that's what we're seeing. So the third announcement in a row, Bank of Canada has cut by 0.2, by 0.25. So we're now, we started the year at 5% overnight lending rate, and now we're at 4.25. So that's amazing for investors, right? Every single, the last 3 times have had a cut of 0.25. Like I mentioned, October, fingers crossed, hopefully we get another one. And then December, hopefully again, we get another one. So mortgage, no, you were thinking only the 0.25. I know, I was super optimistic. I was like, you know what? Will they do it? They've got a certain end result that they want. You know what? It's probably not bad that they're going slow and steady. Sweet 7. Hey, Dave. First of all, I really like your content. Booyakasha. I love it. I don't know where you're commenting from, but hopefully it's one of the, I'm not sure which platform, but that's awesome. Because we post different content on different platforms, right? So for example, every week on YouTube, we post a new YouTube video. This Thursday is going to be our second part for agreement for sale deals, right? The first one was the breakdown. The second one is pros and cons. Next week is going to be agreement for sales versus vendor takebacks. We've got over 1,000 videos on YouTube and we're blowing up. We've got we hit 73,000 this morning. That's right. But yeah, so I love that you love our content, Sweet Escape. Okay. Tell us, how is it possible to invest from Canada in other countries? 100% possible, right? Think about this. Mel and I do it in 5 countries. Okay. And just so Mel and I are not citizens of 5 countries. We are Canadian citizens investing in 5 countries. So we are foreign nationals in 4 out of the 5 countries that we invest in. So if you're thinking, I don't have a PR, permanent residence, a visa, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay. The lending will be different. Yes, the lending will be different. So for example, Sweet Escape, let's say you're looking at investing in the US, right? A lot of Canadians want to start investing in the US. If this is something that you want to start doing, DM me the word US, please. And I've got some training for you and we can chat. I'll get you to fill out a form and I'll give you a call to discuss different options that maybe Mel and I can help you with. So DM us the word US or USA, whatever you want, if you are interested as a Canadian investing in the US, or if you're a US citizen, you want to invest in the US like Mel and I do, right? With creative financing and other people's money. DM us the word US or USA, okay? So for example, Sweet 7, yeah, it's definitely, the biggest thing, I'm not going to lie, is the business structure. So if you do not live in the US and are not a US citizen and you are looking at investing there, making sure that you're set up properly, just like Mel and I are, to avoid double taxation is huge. Okay, I go on YouTube, I see videos of other people's, their advice. And I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, but I'm like, that's incorrect, because when I meet with the CPAs and when I meet with the cross-border attorneys and accountants, we talk about this, right? And they're like, that is a mess, right? That is bad advice. So anyway, it's very, very important to have that. Also, the contacts that Mel and I have that we share with our Action Family Mentoring program, right? We've got over 2,100 members now, which I'm so pumped about. Appreciate them, love them. I love the Action Family. But yeah, that's literally what we do. We show people how Mel and I are doing this, right? Any other questions, guys? Do not be shy. Again, huge announcement. Bank of Canada has cut overnight lending rate by another 0.25. This is so awesome. As soon as I saw it, I had to do a story right away. So if you're following us, you saw me do a story, and I wanted to come live right away as well. Because, okay, I still feel as though we're in a sweet spot. Okay, guys, we're in a sweet spot. And what I mean by this, Mel and I have continued to buy real estate. Even when interest rates went up, some of our mortgages were 9%, some of them were 8.5. Again, you can find deals that make sense. Now that the rates are climbing back down, those deals are only going to make more and more sense. I'm going to talk about numbers about one of our buildings that has a variable rate mortgage, okay? And I'll give you some straight up numbers just to see how the math works. But what I'm getting at is we're in a sweet spot, sweet spot in the market. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, when the rates went up, just said, you know what, I'm going to chill. I'm going to back out of real estate. I'm going to sit on the sidelines and I'm going to wait this cycle through, which is fine. Okay, whatever. Mel and I, we buy real estate all the time. The trick to generational wealth and to amassing a portfolio like Mel and I, we've now purchased 264 units, right? The secret sauce is literally always be buying, because you want to ride that wave, right? That real estate wave. Will there be ups and downs? Yeah, that's just real estate. Same with this. Like, I'm not a stock guy, but that happens in the stock market too. But if you hold for a long period of time, it goes up. And now what I'm seeing again is I saw a lot of people back out. And then I don't have the dates in front of me. I forget now. All I care about is the today's cut, today's September 4th cut. I forget what the other cut dates were, but yeah, anyway, it's the third cut of the year in Canada. When I saw the first cut happen, rate cut, I was like, okay, you know what? We're going to start to see a little bit more people trickle in, right, to the market, off the fence in the market. When I saw the second cut, and I think it was July, it was July. It was right before we left for Calgary. Or was it right after? Doesn't matter. I saw more and more people start to come in the market, right? And it's okay, the competition starting to come a little bit, because people are starting to get off the fence. Now I'm seeing the third cut. So people are now going to probably start to, come off the fence even more, right? But there's still people that are like, I want to see it hit 4 or below 4 on overnight lending rate in Canada. So rates are going down. Rates are better. They're more attractive. More deals make sense now when you're underwriting them and stress testing them like you should be doing, like we do in our cash flow analysis matrix. But it's still not everyone, guns a-blazing back in the real estate world where, hey, yeah, real estate was always a good idea, right? The people that kind of backed up when the rates went up. So we're coming to that point. We're still not there. It's still a sweet spot in the market where people are still not convinced. Still a lot of people on the fence. The rates just went down. So there's a lot of deals to be had. And that's why I get excited, because I'm like, I've seen the market cycles. Like Mel and I have now been doing this for a combined 25 plus years. So things repeat themselves, right? And that's why I'm excited, because we're in a sweet spot in the market right now where it's like rates went down. Not everyone's going to be back in the market. Let's keep buying and keep amassing real estate, right? Our portfolio. So that's why I'm excited. So if you're thinking about it, don't wait for the next one cut or another 2 more cuts. There's good deals to be had right now. We've cut by 0.75 this year so far, right? So it's anyway. Hopefully you guys can see that I'm excited about it, right? Like I literally I was like, let's go live, team. Like let's do this. Okay. Red Ginger 36. Hi, Dave. Tell me how I can invest in both countries from other countries. Yeah, 100%. Red Ginger, DM us the word USA. And fill out the form, and I'll be able to give you some more information and chat about it. And that's the thing, guys. If ever you are interested in being coached or mentored by Mel and I, just DM us the word, whatever word, action, right? If you want to take action and be an action taker and join our Action Family Mentoring Program, where we show people literally, like you just said, Red Ginger, how do you do this in different countries? That's what we'll show you. So DM us the word US if it's specific for US, or if it's action where you're like, you know what, Dave, maybe I do want to go to Costa Rica. Maybe I do want to go to Mexico. Maybe I do want to go to the US. Maybe I want to keep building my portfolio in Canada, right? So if you DM me the word action, then I'll know that you're looking more a lot of different places, or DM me the word US, so I'll know you're looking specifically for the US. Okay. Awesome. Keep the questions coming, guys. I love it. Section 8, great or bad? So Section 8, I like Section 8. Section 8 is a special government subsidy in the US. Canada has like, everyone has different words. There's something in Ohio too. It's like CA. One of our properties in Ohio has tenants on the program. I forget what it's called. Too many acronyms in all the different countries that we're in. So I got a pretty good memory, but sometimes I know what they are, but I forget the acronyms. Ohio has its own kind of thing where it's a subsidy from, was it the county or the state? I have to look at it again. Yeah, it's good. They're just like anything else. There's pros and cons. So you have to meet certain standards. Like I know they walk through and they'll look at like the railing heights. They'll look at different things. But yeah, you're subsidized by the government. DUCN 2123, how low do you see the overnight rate going? Okay. This is something, guys, that, okay, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I forget exactly what it was, but I remember reading a stat that I forget if it was the mortgage broker or the economist had sent me. So take this with a grain of salt, but there is a large portion, I think it was like 60 or 70. Again, do not hold me to that number. I'm just kind of going from memory here. And I think Canada and the US both had similar types of renewals, but let's just say a large chunk of the mortgages in Canada and in the US were coming due. Everyone, right? Everyone signed up for, lower interest. Let's talk Canada. Everyone signed up for, free money, 2%. Like getting mortgages under 2% was free money. Let's be real, right? Everyone was making money during COVID. You could literally throw a dart at the map and make money, right? Anyone could have done that. And this is where Mel and I pride ourselves is, okay, that was a period in time that doesn't come very often. Now, how do you make money in, the normal cycles, the real world here, when things are not just super hot and anyone can make money at any time, right? That's why we've been doing it for 25 plus years, because we read the markets, we see the cycles, we understand when to buy, when not to buy. I remember telling the Action family, guys, stop doing flips. That time has stopped. No more flips for like a year or two, because we were in an increasing interest rate cycle, which meant a lower purchase cycle. And it was like, guys, flips work when you can have a higher value, right? So the year or two ago, we're like, stop the flips. It's not going to work right now. You're going to lose your shirt. Now it's like flips are okay again, right? Because rates are going down, which means valuations are going up. That's the market you want to be flipping in. So again, that's the beauty of Mel and I and the Action family is we're not just COVID coaches. We've been around. We've seen cycles. We've done multiple refinances, right? We've managed 350 units at one point. Like, anyway, great questions, guys. And if you're just tuning in, and if you've been with me for a while, you're like, David's like the 10th time you say it. If you're just tuning in, Bank of Canada has cut overnight lending rates by 0.25. This is exciting, guys. Okay, we're at 4.25. I believe, again, I don't want to make predicaments. I believe they will continue to cut. Why? And to finish up the where I was going with this. To finish up where I'm going with this is a lot of people got mortgages, right, in 2020, 2021 when rates were low, right? Free money, under 2%. And if all those people who qualified for all those mortgages were going to renew, excuse me, when rates are double, if not more than double when they bought it, they won't qualify. And it's going to cause a huge mess. Okay, so it's almost like, and I'm not saying they have to do anything, but if you're the government, if you're the Bank of Canada and you know that 50, 60, 70%, and I forget the statistic that I had from the economists and the mortgage brokers, if you knew that a huge amount of mortgages were going to be renewing in your country, and if they renew at this certain rate, no one will be able to qualify, and it's literally going to cause a mass issue. You'd probably start cutting interest rates so that when the masses renew, you'll be somewhere for a soft landing, right? So my predicament, I don't even like using that word, what I'm thinking, I don't want to predict, and then someone says 2 years down the road, like, hey, Dave, remember this video? But I think they're going to keep going down. I don't think we have a choice. The government, I don't think has a choice, to be honest with you. Same with the Fed in the US, like, because here, okay, so that's the play in Canada. The play, in my opinion, in the US is because the US is different, right? They don't have like 5-year terms like we have. You sign a 15-year or a 30-year note, that's your mortgage. That's your rate for the next 15 years. That's your rate for the next 30 years. However, people that signed a 2% or 3% mortgage 2-3 years ago, do you think they're going to sell their house and go buy another one at 7% or 6% interest rate? No, they are not selling their houses. So in the US, it's a different play. In order for them to create more inventory, right? Which there's a shortage everywhere because there's so much regulation and red tape that the governments get in the way of things, and the cost of developing is just, it costs you almost so much, depending on the province, depending on the state. You end up spending so much in regulation and red tape and all that, compared to what your total build cost is, that's why people don't build. So in the US, the play is people don't want to sell. The inventory doesn't want to come up because when they go buy, they don't want to have the higher interest rates. So more inventory won't come on the market until the rates drop far enough for people to want to sell and buy again in that market. So Canada and the US are in different spots, again, everyone has different pros and cons, right? Suite 7 Escape, your mentoring works only for investors with big portfolios? No, 100% no. We help people that are renting. They've never even bought a house. We help people that have a house and want to buy a first rental property. We help people that maybe have a house or are renting, they've got a few properties and they're looking at buying their next one. I've had people come to me that already have like 80 units and I've helped them grow past the 100 mark. So again, this is the beauty of Mel and I, because we've been there, done that. We've been that beginner investor, scared, like my single family home that I first bought and wanted to rent out. Mel literally almost had to push me off the ledge because I was so scared. I had found the perfect tenant and I was like, oh, this is so scary, right? Fear, false evidence appearing real. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. And she's like, really? This tough firefighter that I met and I'm with is scared of renting out his house. So little Mel pushed me off the ledge. So again, fear, I understand it, guys, but we can help anyone at any point in their real estate investing journey. And I can attest it because I've been in that same situation. So Suite 7 Escape. If you say, Dave, I've never purchased anything. Dave, I'm renting a place. I want to house hack. I want to get into my first place. Cool. Or if you want to buy your next property, cool. Again, that's the thing. Mel and I, because we've gone so far in our real estate journey, we'll just meet you where you're at in your journey so that we can help you and pick up from there. Awesome stuff, TikTok. Okay, cool. Beck, what are we investing in? Real estate. REI, real estate investing. Jesus, how do I start? I have no money, but $1,000 to my name. New here, thank you. I do have my house paid $0. Okay, so Jesus, are you open to good debt? You're welcome, Sweet Escape. Let me know if you have more questions. DM us so I can chat with you. DM us the word, wherever you're looking at investing. Jesus, are you open to good debt? What I mean by good debt is, are you open to putting a mortgage on your principal residence? And I know, yes, okay, you're open to good debt. Okay. What I mean by this, Jesus, is if you have your primary residence completely paid off, and again, different gurus will say different things. What I like doing is, and Mel and I have done it, is if you want, even if you take, because if you refinance, you'll be able to get up to 80% loan to value, depending, right? What your financials look like. Or if you take a home equity line of credit, you might be able to get, what was I going to say? Up to 65% loan to value. Good debt open, Creative Eye consult. There you go. Okay. So that's the thing. So good debt. You could take a mortgage out on your place. Again, I'm not saying go mortgage your property to the gills here. What I'm saying is you could take a mortgage out on your principal residence, and with that chunk of money, go buy multiple income properties and then have the income properties pay back the mortgage for you while they're building appreciation in those income properties and they're cash flowing, right? That's what we do. And if you don't want to use, your own house, I get it. You can still use creative financing as well to buy these properties as well. Alexandra, do you deal with Section 8 in the US? Yes, we have done it as well. Paul, terrible comment, Paul. So team, let's remove Paul. Misa, if you can remove Paul from Facebook. Paul has very inappropriate comments, and I don't know how to do it. So the team, please remove Paul from the Facebook comments. Very not appropriate, Paul. We are PG here, my friend. Usually that's TikTok. Usually I got to tell TikTok to keep it PG, but okay. Any other questions? Again, if you're just tuning in, there we go. Bye-bye, Paul. We like keeping it PG here, guys. But yeah, what was I going to say? Anything real estate, any questions? Again, Bank of Canada has announced the rate cut. Oh, I want to go numbers. Okay, numbers. Let's just go numbers. So in one of our buildings, and let's just literally, like, this is how I'm seeing it as an investor. In one of our buildings, it is residential and commercial. So it's a mixed use building. Okay. There's a mortgage on it for, I think it's like $1.9 million. Okay. So I'd have to look at my spreadsheets and my documents. But anyway, quick math here, just general. I'll just keep the numbers very general. So on this $1.9 million, it's interest only. So I'm paying prime. And with the rate cut, I think our mortgage goes down. Well, there it is. If our mortgage rate goes down like I just did, our monthly payment goes down by just over $400. So think about this, okay? This rate cut, effective tomorrow, right? The bank, my next mortgage payment on that one property will be $400 less. So my cash flow, when I review my P&L, my profit and loss, oh my gosh. I was going to say, when I review my profit and loss for the month, I will be $400 higher in cash flow just because the Bank of Canada announced an interest rate. Okay, so that's quick math. That's like what, $4,800 a year, right? Now that's the third time that they do this. So again, quick math. I think it's like 14,400, 14,500. Let's just say 15K. So due to the fact that the Bank of Canada has announced 3 interest rate cuts this year on just one of our buildings, and think about the compound effect of this, on just one of our buildings with a $1.9 million mortgage, we now will make $15,000 more cash flow. That's $15,000 more. Instead of giving it to the bank, hey, here's your interest, right? It's literally staying in our pockets, in the entity's pockets. So if they announce another interest rate cut or another 2 this year, think about that. That's another $400 a month. That's another $400 a month, right? So that's the power. Plus, like, this is the play, guys. This is why I love real estate. And this is why I'm so passionate. Mel and I will always buy, we'll never stop buying real estate. Our payments will go down. And this is a variable rate one, right? I'm paying prime, basically, interest only. Our payments will go down every single month. But now the other thing too, and some people might already know where I'm going with this, because the interest rates are lower and it is easier to qualify for the debt, or sorry, you can qualify for higher debt now because when they look at your ratios, you'll be able to qualify for more. The building actually went up in evaluation. So my mortgage payments went down, the interest that I'm paying, my cash flow went up, and now my building is worth more money. So if I was to sell this building before the first interest rate cut, there would be a certain price tag. Now that there's been the third interest rate cut and banks are now underwriting with a lower overnight lending and prime rate, prime, the building can sell for more because the person buying it can qualify for more. You see how this works? So this is the beauty of owning real estate, is with the interest rates going down in Canada, in my opinion, my Canadian portfolio just went up. Hopefully, where's the date I had saved here? Hopefully on September 18th, the Federal Reserve in the US follows suit with Canada and drops interest rates. The bank's already doing it anyway. Then my US portfolio will also go up. So it's a win-win, whether you have deals already or not. If you don't have deals already, now it's easier to buy buildings because the interest rates are lower. And if you already have buildings, in my opinion, when interest rates go down, it makes your buildings go up in value. Okay, so this is why I love real estate, guys. And think about this: every single month, the mortgage payments are being paid by our clients, our customers, right? Like, this is the beauty of real estate. Arthur, what do I do when I have my own house and want to buy my first rental property? Okay. So, Arthur, what do you have equity in the house? Doesn't matter if you do or not. So literally, what people would typically do is they will TikTok. If I lose you, the battery's low. So if I just hang up on you at one point, it's not because I was being rude. It's because I just got a low battery. So Arthur, you could either take what people will do is they'll refinance their house typically, or they'll do a HELOC, home equity line of credit. Now, what people will typically do is let's say, I don't know, let's say you've got 70K, 100K, 150K in your house. What people end up doing is they take that money and they buy one place, and then they're basically one and done. That is the traditional, normal, typical play that people do. And Mel and I used to do the exact same thing. So I can attest to that. Now, what I would strongly recommend is let's say you do still take out that refi, or you do still take out the HELOC, and you have that 30, 50, 70, $100,000. Well, can we use that? Yes. I still would want you to leverage other people's money in creative financing. But the fact that you do have those funds from your principal residence, we're going to take that and we're going to sprinkle that amongst a lot of properties. So to put that in context, the year that Mel and I bought 12 properties in 12 months, we had a line of credit. I think it was like $70,000 or so. That $70,000 sprinkled over 12 properties was it would allow us to buy those 12 properties, is what I'm getting at, because we used other people's money. So for example, one of the deals we did, which one do I want to use? The fiveplex. One of the fiveplexes we bought. Credit union held the first place mortgage. Seller financing held the second mortgage, 100% financed. However, we needed to come up with I think it was like a $5,000 deposit, right? Down payment. No, not down payment, deposit to hold the deal. We used a portion of our $70,000 line of credit. See what I mean? How I'm sprinkling it through a couple of deals. Legal fees. If I needed $1,500 to close the deal, okay, that came from our 70K. But then, other people's money came to actually close the deal. So, Arthur, if you have your house and you have equity and you are looking at possibly refinancing it or doing a home equity line of credit, you could sprinkle that over multiple deals. Okay. And if you're thinking, Dave, oh man, I'm renting or I have my house and I have zero equity, you can still do this, right? You can still use other people's money and creative financing to leverage and get into properties without having a bunch of money too, right? That's the thing. If you are interested in any of this and you are looking at taking action, DM us the word action. Okay. DM us the word action and fill out the form, and we'll be contacting you to see how we can help you on your journey. Okay. Any other questions? Good questions so far, guys. Any other questions? Who here is investing? Who here already has properties? And where are they? Are you in Canada? Are you in the US? In Costa Rica? Where are you located? Where are you buying? Where are people buying, or where are you interested in buying? That's curious. Even if, okay, Dave, I don't have a place yet. Where do I want to buy? Put in the chat. Is it US? Is it Canada? Right? Canada just had a Bank of Canada interest rate cut today, which is super exciting. Tonez, yeah, Tonez, fill out our forms. We can discuss. Meet you where you're at, Tonez, or Tonzi. Maybe I'm not pronouncing that correctly, and we can chat about it. But yeah, super excited. Bank of Canada interest rate cut today. We're now down to 4.25. They have now cut this year so far a total of 0.75, right, through the 3 interest rate cuts. And I'll talk about some mindset stuff here, guys, because I know I see a lot of people and they might think you can't do this. Even with the interest rate cut, I know some people are on the fence and they're hesitant and they might be thinking, what if and all that stuff. Whoops, where'd it go here? I was listening because I'm always doing mindset stuff, right? I'm always doing mindset stuff. Mel and I are actually dabbling on creating our own mindset program as well. We still have 4 coaches, right? If that's something that interests you, I'll talk a little bit more. DM us the word mindset. I want to see what, because we've had people ask us over the years. I want to see what the interest is in it. But yeah, DM us the word mindset if you're interested. So I'll talk about a couple of things. And what I mean by that is because Mel and I, we write in our journals every single day. write in our journals. We have our vision boards. We're very positive people, right? And I was listening to a couple of things this morning, and I wanted to talk about this on today's live. And I know it's not just necessarily real estate, but I want to see if you can relate to this. And I think a lot of you will be able to. Okay, so they were talking about, an explorer was deep in, I think it was like, was it Africa or somewhere, and literally they came across some sort of like sanctuary where they were working with animals, and they saw this huge elephant, right? They saw this huge elephant with the rope around its foot tied to like the gate or something, or the house or the gate. And they were like, how is this rope containing this massive elephant? The elephant can just literally rip it, could rip the whole house down if they wanted to. Um, excuse me, but they're not. And the trainer was saying what they do is, when the elephant is very young, that same rope, that same cord that is holding the elephant now, that's massive and huge and powerful, that same cord or rope is put around the elephant's front paw when they're younger. So when they pull when they're younger, they realize, creative eye consult mindset. I love it. They realize when they're younger, like, hey, I can't get away, because the cord, the rope can actually hold them when they're just a little baby elephant. So think about this. And you probably already see where I'm going with this, but so the elephant's mind has already determined and preset in its brain, I tried that once, it didn't work. This rope is stronger than me. I cannot actually break it. And as the elephant gets bigger, it continues to believe that preconceived notion, right? So like, and I know I'm talking about animals here, guys, but what I'm talking about is mindset, okay? Is what I see a lot of people do, or investors do, is they've heard things about real estate, or they've tried real estate before and maybe it didn't work, or they didn't get qualified at the bank, or whatever it was. And just like the elephant with the rope around their foot, they're thinking, oh, when I heard that it didn't work at that time, I hit my ceiling, and that's just the way it is. When in fact, just like the elephant could break that rope, could rip off that cord and be set free, you as investors, same thing. You can be set free, right? You can do this. You don't let limitations or anything like that get in your way. So when I heard that this morning, I'm like, man, so many people have built this ceiling around themselves, and they stay within it because they have that preconceived notion, and they have that, I don't want to say lies, but it's in their brain where they can't get through. So anyway, I want to leave you with some mindset stuff. I'm always trying to do that. Another story here, I'll jump to another animal, is they were talking about lions, right? Can we all agree that the saying, the lion is the king of the jungle, right? Lion's the king of the jungle. We've all heard that. We can all attest to that, right? Let's go look at the movie Lion King. What they were saying, and again, I love it. It's all about mindset. And Mel and I practice this every single day. And if you're interested in the new program that we're looking at creating, DM us the word mindset. Is, think about this. The elephant is, sorry, the lion. I'm still stuck on the elephant story. The lion is not the fastest animal in the jungle, right? Cheetah, typically. The lion is not the biggest, right? Probably elephant, if I had to guess, right? The lion is not the strongest, right? Maybe a hippo or a rhinoceros. I forget that I've heard before, like hippos, their jaws are like some of the strongest. So, and it was just like, and again, I swear I'll bring this back to real estate. So if the lion is not the fastest, if the lion is not the strongest, and if the lion is not the biggest, then how is it the king of the jungle, right? And they were talking, mindset, and it was because the lion has confidence, right? The lion works in a team. The lion, what was I going to say? Does, like, for example, it hunts at night when everyone is sleeping or in the rain, right? Because then predators can't hear it coming. Like, it does specific smart things without being the fastest, the biggest, the smartest. And what I mean with this, guys, and what I'm saying for mindset here, DM us the word mindset if you're interested in joining the group. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to have all the contacts and have all the answers. Because think about this. I was a firefighter, right? I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I was a firefighter. I wasn't a rocket scientist. But at the end of the day, what the game changer was action. Okay. That's why Mel and I, we called our mentoring program, the Action Family, because the action is what matters, right? That's the whole purpose behind it. We didn't know what we were going to call it when we created it initially. However, we just knew that, hey, the people that are getting the most success are the people that are taking action, right? Are executing. Mel and I, one of the biggest things we can attest to our success as well is we don't just talk about it. Why do I have confidence in talking to you guys about real estate? I could talk about real estate for the next 8 hours till I'm blue in the face. Is because we've been there, we've done that, we've taken the action, we've made the mistakes, and we've had the successes to prove it, right? So again, guys, I'll leave you with the mindset stuff. If you do want to change your life with real estate, if you're tired of having that ceiling and you're thinking, I can't break through it, you can break through it. DM us, right? The word action if you want to look at joining our coaching and mentoring for real estate, or DM us the word mindset if you're looking at joining our mindset stuff. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Bank of Canada cuts, woo, interest rate cut today. Super pumped, super excited about that. So yeah, we have a new YouTube video releasing Friday. It's going to be about agreement for sale. If you're not following us on YouTube yet, go check it out. We released a video